Hello, everybody. I wanted to say back to another ranked game, but it's been quite a while that I played ranked. I didn't really play many 1v1s recently. I think like two that I can think of in the past month. But I played a bunch of team games, so it's not like I'm completely out of the. How do you say it? I'm not completely incredibly rusty. I'm assuming that Putin is AFK at the moment. But yeah, we're playing against Putin, which is probably the most difficult honors or the final boss when it comes to 1v1 players right now. Not to mention that he's also one of the few 1v1 players left who plays ranked. So this should be quite a match, or it's a quick match. In which case I lose. She shouldn't really know what deck I'm playing. Even if he were to watch all of my recent videos, which I never assume, because why would anyone watch those? But even if he assumes that I'm playing Eastern Bloc, because that's the deck that I played in the 1v1 video against Nick, I changed it quite a bit. For one, I would replace this, the Sopel with the Strelatin M. Not a huge deal. But I think ever since they buffed the Strelatin M to 45 points, well, now I think that it might be worth more actually, because the Sopel has to reload after 2 shots, and the gun isn't particularly great. It's decent for stunning, but I used to really like it, and I still think it's a decent unit, but eh. And I put in... Fuck! I could have sworn I upvetted it. Why is it not upvetted? Oh, fucking hell. And I put in this little unit. I'm having actually decent success with it, although I didn't even use it that much. I think other than that, not too much. If he didn't watch the video, then he does know that I have these Plus community. Oh yeah, and infantry changes. I put out the Conqueror's M actually to put in Leisterschützen and basically replace him with Leisterschützen, and then put in a card of Motostrelzi and the Vitra 2, and 2 cards of Mordschützen and a 5-pointer. Because even though the infantry is rather efficient, I do tend to run out of infantry. I'm not saying, please don't just go ahead and copy this if you want to copy my decks for whatever reason. This is mostly testing, and if you are skeptical about this, then you have every right to do so, because, yeah. But I think, honestly, this is a better setup for this map for sure. So we're gonna start with, and I think Leisterschützen are gonna be really good here, not mostly because they are 10 HP. I have no idea what he's gonna play, like really no idea, and considering that I'm playing as red and not blue, I don't really have any clue either. And I didn't watch any of his streams recently, over the past few months really. I every now and then I watched a couple of minutes, but I didn't really watch long, so I have really no idea what he's playing. Yeah, I don't think I have a very good track record against Putin on this map, or against Putin in general over the last year. We'll just see how it goes. What's our game plan? I think we have to go for this area here. I don't think pushing Dimitri is a good choice. I'm gonna buy one MS-17 for mid. Maybe I can get it to land there. We'll see. This is always a weird map and an awkward map. <sighs> 265 points left. I don't have a lot of AA on the map, but it's not a huge issue as of now, since I don't even have any tanks yet. I mean, you want to try to push this at the start and not go too hard on this. Because if I can get this town and this here, then he's gonna have trouble in feeder and I can cut off his reinforcements here. I'm not really sure if that's a good idea. I guess we will see. I'm missing 5 fucking points. Oh, whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. Well, I guess no radar AA at the start then. Honestly, maybe I should put these here instead. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna go too hard on this town at the start. Which might be a mistake, which you never know. Yeah, I don't know what my chances are on this map, but I don't think I definitely don't think it's 50-50. Better start with the excuse as you know, better start with the excuses at the start of the game. At least I hope it's at least a long match, no matter what the outcome is. Because I think these matches tend to be more liked by you guys. He might also just play a meme deck, you never know. Oh, that's, if I had to guess, that's blue mech. It is blue mech. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. And he's pushing there. Okay. Oh, that's really bad. I certainly did not expect that. That's for sure. Oh, and there's an MX-10. And that's what, a peace pheasant? Ouch. Well, that's bad. It's pretty bad. Oh, those are the MX-10s. And one Abrams. Might need to buy an ASF because this peace vessel will most likely be ready fairly soon, and there's a good chance he might try to go for my Wilk. I don't want to show that I have an ASF yet though. Oh, come on. My 17, please. There it is. I'm not gonna lose the Wilk here, but sacrifice that has to be made. Scaphard. And it's also an investment. That's certainly a rough start, and certainly went for his into his favor. But let's see. Who knows? Maybe we can somehow recover. Abrams is it's base Abrams actually, which is really good against my Mordschützen or my infantry lineup. Tough situation right now. Let's see, MX-10. Gepard makes it really awkward. Oh, it's even the A1 actually. Ah. Let's get a hind. Please get back into the town. Thank you very much. That's why I like the Leichtschützen actually, because they can... You can't just move up with this infantry and walk into them, because if those were Congress M, he could just do that, because they're 2 men. They have to do it 2 HP. Go for that. Go for the AMX-10, please. M1A1. He has this one turned on, the scabbard on the right, and it's not microing it. Just stop getting stunned, please. Yep, okay. Let's fast move this in there and see what's in there when it gets killed, etc. Move back, please. Turn you off for now. Syria. I think we're gonna go for the Gepard actually. Guess we go for the Abrams then, which doesn't die. That's fine, as long as my Syria survives. Peace, peasant. Nice, very nice. I'm still on the back foot here, but he's not making very good trades right now. Except for the fact that he has probably RBS in there or some other entry. That or Chumat. I'm not sure. The speed made it look like it's not necessarily RBS. Well, what we have right now is more or less air superiority. That's the only thing we basically have. Also, I think he's playing without DLC units, so my guess is he's preparing, using this as practice matches for his tournament games, if that's not over yet, which I'm not sure, because it has double elimination. There's a good chance it's not necessarily over yet. Gepard. EG. Keep smoking that. Right there. Let's move this over here. He might also have... I don't know what he has in there. I know, I'm aware that I'm not really smoking my Wilk or anything along those lines, but it's more or less on purpose. Which I'm using and saying it's not really on purpose. It should not be, because my MiG-29 is on cooldown. But, I'm too lazy. Send this out, maybe he's not expecting it. That's a CV, I think. Yeah, it's a Iltis. Got it. Yeah, yes, the Iltis in there. Yes, RBS 70 in there. That's what was in there. Oof. Ah, smoke. That's just Space Abrams. Well, I still got it. But now let's use this and be a cancerous player that I always complain about when Putin does it. But I'm playing against mixed mech, anything goes. That's Anana Sanchigis, that's where he has Chumat in. It's CV moving away. Mitsubishi Chumat actually, okay. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, those are the Nana Sanchigis. He's still taking +1, but I still have a lead, so I'm not under a huge pressure right now when it comes to points. He moved it in there. Let's cluster this again. Make him think we're clustering this patch, but he's then moving into the left and into actual line of fire of... Ah, that's where he is. Okay. And these KFVs are a huge annoyance right now. And these M113s are huge problems because I don't have the fire support and my tanks are not in the area and this work's getting side shot. Damn dude, these ATGMs everywhere. I did not expect there to be so many. Oh my god, this is... Oh no, okay, I'm just not properly smoking this off. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? How many fucking Chumat squads? That's not a Chumat squad. How many fucking Chumat squads does he have? Or whatever age. Does he get 2 cards? Right, considering they're not unprototyped, there's a good chance he can actually get 2 cards in his deck. Oh my god. I didn't even realize that. God. I only got 1 shot up, or only hit once, I should say. I should not be trying to kite with a build that is on 1 HP. This is not looking good at all for me. Yeah, that's why it's important to win the opener against Mech, and I just didn't win the opener. Because if you lose the opener against Mech, then Mech can just duck itself in with all the ATGM squads and shit the deck has. Because usually unspec decks can't afford to be so... put down so many ATGM squads most of the time. Due to having limited amount of deck slots. So that's a problem, obviously. The BM27 obviously was also a bad buy. I'm well aware that I don't have a FAUB in this deck, which is intended. But I just didn't buy it at the correct moment. It was more or less a desperation buy, let's say. But I mean, that's one problem with Mech that mixed Mech always had, which is why ever since it quote unquote got discovered, it never really stopped being meta. That's just because it always had access to motorized units as well, allowing it to do a somewhat decent motorized opener. And the problem with Eastern Bloc Eastern Bloc has good units in Moto, like good motorized units, obviously, infantry, but it doesn't have the support units, it doesn't have the MX-10s, Hachinanas, even LEVs, although, yeah. But yeah, I just didn't see Elena coming, and then losing those 2 Wilks basically fucked me completely in the opener and allowed him to completely reign free into Elena. That was, I think that's where it started going downhill, basically right at the start. Ugh. I'm honestly like, again, he's not playing with DLC units, but I'm really trying hard to win 1 versus 1s. You may have noticed that, but for the most part, like, unless I'm just, you know, trying, like, it's just a friendly game, just memeing around, I'm generally trying to and this is not trying to throw shade at anyone. I'm generally trying to yeah, I mean, I lost, so I'm just floating points because I'm talking. I'm generally trying to play and win 1 versus 1s with I wouldn't say non-meta, but like non-OP decks, like not DLC, no mix decks, basically, is what I'm trying to do. Which is one of the reasons why you in general don't really see me play Israel, Entente, Baltic Front, Mixed Blue or Mixed Red play very often. Team games is a different thing, and in-house games, like friendly 1 versus 1s that are set up, and whatever I'm being ranked, or, you know, it's kind of like I'm sort of trying to prove something, you could say, I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I don't find it fun playing with decks that have access to such powerful tools with barely any downsides. And I'm not trying to downplay my loss here. I lost also because I'm just worse right now than Putin. But with the DLC deck or mixed blue or mixed red, I'm not saying I would have won. But there's also a good chance that coming back would have been more likely, I guess you could say. But that misplay at the start, that losing those tanks at the start, which basically lost me the game, was just a pure misplay, and it's not like, oh, I lost because of my deck, right? But I guess this is sort of a PSA, I guess you could say, since I don't think I really ever did that. That you're not gonna expect, you shouldn't expect me to play a lot of quote-unquote OP decks in 1 versus 1 ranked. But yeah, that was a quick one. I just lost right at the start. That's exactly what I hoped what didn't happen, because it's not as interesting to watch. Yeah, that's just how it goes. It's just Wargame. Or any game in general. But like, yeah, I don't know, I just don't really know. This is one of the reasons why I don't really enjoy 1 versus 1 right now, personally, because of the one, of course, it's just it's stale because we have the same stats on all units for 1.5 years now. The other reason is just I have the choice between, like, it's not really anything special to Wargames. It's basically every competitive game right now, or at all. I have the choice of playing the meta, quote-unquote OP decks, or underwhelming decks. As soon as you play against the meta deck, you know, that's just how it is. And yeah, that's why I'm also like experimenting a lot with Eastern Bloc right now. That's why you saw me play a good amount of Commonwealth again in the past. It's a shame. I'm just thinking right now, like, for me there's like, either I'm gonna play Commonwealth or I'm gonna play Eastern Bloc, but both I played up and down so much. Not necessarily in the past 6 months, but especially around the time when I started doing YouTube, and the time before that I played a shit ton of Eastern Bloc and Commonwealth. And I'd even argue that I made those quote-unquote meta back in the time, or certainly not single-handedly, but I helped, I think, to popularize it, like before I did YouTube even. Back when it was just a lot of in-houses and shit. And it's obviously Eurocore, which in and of itself, in my opinion, is not an OP deck, but then there's the AMX10 and shit. It's, I don't know, it's, in a way it's also frustrating, you could say. So I guess I'm just gonna put a timestamp here if you don't wanna hear me rumble all the way and just wanna watch the gameplay, and put it into comments. So basically what I'm saying is I don't enjoy, and I haven't really enjoyed in the past 1.5 years, the 1 versus 1 meta, where it's basically you either play one of the few quote-unquote pay-to-win / OP decks, or you play any other deck and you're already at a disadvantage. And I don't enjoy that, so basically what I'm saying is I'm probably not gonna upload a lot of ranked games, and most 1 versus 1 games will be in-house and set up, I guess you could say. Because yeah, I just don't enjoy it. Like I don't blame anyone for playing these strong decks at all. I blame people for healer rushing and shit. But when I play, let's say, Israel in a ranked match or anything, or in a 1 versus 1 match that isn't a tournament where it's allowed, that's a different thing. Then whenever I win, I'm like, I feel like, not like dirty is an exaggeration, but I'm like, I always have this feeling afterwards. It's like, well, that tells me that I didn't fully deserve it, you know. I took and somewhat still take Wargame relatively seriously, which is why I just don't enjoy that feeling. Obviously, nobody would, but I get the feeling is the thing here, right? It's a shame. Red Dragon Mechanized. Basically a worse armor deck, right? I think I wanted to try some PTC spam. Maybe. I'm not sure if I even ever played this deck. I've been rambling for like 10 minutes or so now, haven't I? Like, just looking at the coalition, Eurocore talked about Scandinavia as bad. Commonwealth talked about Blue Dragons is not necessarily bad, but it's like in the same spot or in a similar spot as like Commonwealth and Eastern Bloc. It's not like it doesn't have like anything. It doesn't even have something like an AMX10, right? It doesn't have a single unit where you're saying, wow, that's like such a strong unit, arguably OP, that is worth playing Blue Dragons for. The only thing that I can think of is the Ninja, and that's not Ninja itself, but Ninja and Peace Vessel, which can be a really, really dirty combination. You've possibly or probably seen what Nick Damine has done to me with that. But even that is not like, and then you have like a bunch of weaknesses with Blue Dragons as well that you have to think about. Landjut. I know TechB really likes Landjut, but I just don't see it being in the same thing. It has a lot of issues itself. Norad, obvious, looks like I don't think I need to go through these, right? I should probably stop recording right now and not just sit there and feel sorry for myself. Which is basically what is happening right now. Sort of. I mean, feel free to give me suggestions, but most of the answers will probably be that will probably end up being no, because I either don't enjoy the deck style, and most likely it's also just not strong enough with it. Like, here's the thing: if I were to find a deck that could keep up with like Baltic and such, wouldn't that mean that it's also on the same level, right? So all the past 15 or 10 to 15 minutes you got sum up in me saying the balance is shit. So TLDR or TLDW, the balance is shit. I say now for the fifth for the 5,000th time, for the 5,000th time, whatever. I'm just annoyed by Wargame. It's like such a love and hate relationship, right? But yeah, if you sticked with me until now, then thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.